3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hey guys, welcome to 808 Coaster Life. In today's video, I will be playing Parkitect Sandbox mode for the first time. I have been looking through tutorials on how to play it, especially the in-game one, but I never actually started building a park. I did start doing like career mode, but that's about it. So today I will start building my first Parkitect park. I really don't have major plans for how I'm going to build this park, but I'm thinking for right now, I'm going to try build a tiny main street that only extends for as long as this path. Well, let's see what kind of shops are there. So we have a food shop, a drink shop, toilets, and a cash machine. So for this sandbox mode, the only thing I turned on is research. And that allows us to have like sort of a process. Instead of just like choosing rides, it will choose for me. And I will decide if I place them. So here's my current ride lineup, or what I'm able to get. I can get a Carousel, 4D Cinema. For the thrill rides, I have a jumper, top scan, and twister. I love that there's a top scan in this game. I get a E&F Miller kiddie coaster, a wild mouse, and a wooden coaster. No transport rides or water rides yet. So, oh, that's kind of nice. Well, I didn't even build the park yet, so technically I should put this on pause, and I guess I'll start building. So let the time lapse begin. So the first thing I did is build a pretty big building. My inspiration was this image of buildings at Tripsdrill in Germany. But honestly, this is one of my favorite buildings I've ever made. Since I turned research on, I only had a few shop selections, including a custom shop. I left the custom shops blank because at the time I didn't know how to use them, but later on I found out that you select the shop of your choice from the shop menu. I wasn't too familiar with the roof selection, so I tried to find some inward corner roof pieces, but I couldn't find them. Eventually, I just used roofs and made a pyramid. Oh yeah, by the way, my favorite piece in the game so far is this spire. I'm probably going to use that piece a lot. As you can see right here, I tried to place a fence here, but I didn't really know where to put it, so I just left it for later. When I started placing the trim, that's when it really started to look like a German building. As you can see right here, I did have difficulty trying to place the windows without having the trim going through it, but eventually with a lot of patience, I positioned it correctly. Next, I've just finished up the building. Now I tried to find picnic tables to put in this little eating area I made. I don't know if I'm just blind, but I couldn't find any picnic tables, so I just left it for later. Then I started on my second building. It is in the same style as the first building, but the walls are blue. I really like this building too. It's not as big as the first one, but it still, at least in my opinion, looks really nice. I know I used the same shops as in the first building, but once I research more, I'll replace them. Now right here, I was trying to find a trim piece that can go diagonally but not go off the wall. I couldn't find a piece like that, so I just used a different pattern design for the triangular wall pieces. Here's my first depot in the park, and I think it's a pretty cool system. Then I placed my first ride, which is a carousel. I didn't have much scenery in that ride at the time, but I put more later on. I also placed some umbrellas. The rest is just detailing the little main street and trying to make it look nice. And then after that, I let it play for a little while. After I let the park run for a little while, I made some more paths and planters around the carousel. I first wasn't too sure what my path shape was, but eventually I used this triangular-like shape and it worked for me. As for the planter, I never done anything like this, a high foliage area, in Parkitect yet. Keep in mind I am a very new player to Parkitect. But still, I thought the planter turned out better than what I expected. Now I won't show this part of the video, but since my research got me some building parts for a sci-fi theme, I tried to do a little sci-fi area, but it didn't turn out very well, so I decided to scrap it and work behind the carousel. That is when I decided to build my first roller coaster in this park. It's supposed to be a CCI wooden coaster, but the coaster designer I found to be less restricting than RCDB, but still pretty hard for me to build realistic coasters. I wish that later on, Parkitect will add first-person POVs into vanilla, because I know there's some kind of mod that allows you to do POVs, but I'm trying to avoid getting any mods. You'll notice that recently I found a new love for CCI wooden coasters because they are traditional, but still provide great intense experiences. This coaster is going to be stylized to a classic boardwalk coaster like Giant Dipper at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. This whole area by the Carousel and the Woodie is going to be stylized to vintage amusement parks. And I say stylized because I'm not the best at theming. You also can't move coasters in Parkitect, so I had to make a blueprint so that I could move it somewhere else in the park so that I have more room to design my layout. I had trouble trying to make that big camelback hill have the right amount of negative g-forces, where it's not too weak, but it's also not too strong. And also it was a little difficult trying to get the elevated flat turnaround, where it goes through it slowly, but doesn't roll back. The rest of the layout was pretty easy to make, and I'm pretty satisfied overall with the coaster. The last thing I did is I worked on the queue line and the exit path. First, I changed the wooden coaster color to imitate a boardwalk wooden coaster. It is supposedly built in the 90s, but it's themed to the early 1900s. Then I built the queue line. Now I don't know if this is long enough for this ride, you guys be the judges. My queue building is very simple with little to no inspiration, but I thought it turned out decently well. Something that bothered me that I have to fix later is that the trim for the roof peaks is skinnier than the regular roof pieces, so it looks a little weird, but still it came out decently well. I really like the entrance I made for this ride. The pre-lift section I made for this ride was pretty high off the ground, so I was able to make the queue line go under it so people can almost get a 360 view of the coaster. I'm not too sure if the guests are able to see the turn with all those trees I've planted. There's no first person view, so I'm just gonna assume that the guests are able to see the turnaround. I was not able to work on the station this episode, but I'll try to complete it next time. I originally wanted the exit path to just end, but I thought this ride would be pretty memorable, so I put a rough sketch of what the on-ride photo booth would be. I will also finish the details on that small building in the next episode. That's all I did this episode. Okay, so this is my park so far. I'd say I did a pretty decent amount of stuff this episode. Hopefully I am able to do even more stuff next episode, but let's look at what I've done in this episode. So first off is this tiny Main Street right here. It's alright. I mean, it's not supposed to be like this huge Main Street, but it's supposed to be a start. And oh no, it's a vandalized bench. I'll fix that later. It's not really management right now, I'm just trying to create stuff. But these two buildings that I've built here are some of my favorite buildings I've ever made. I don't know if it's inspiration or it's just my skills, but these two buildings I really like. This one problem is right here. I'm not too sure if there are any picnic benches, as I recalled in the time lapse. If it's in like a mod, then maybe I can download the mod. But for now, I place these umbrellas to like signify where picnic tables would be. That's the main street. There's really nothing else to describe here. But moving on to the carousel, I really like this planter area I made around it. Of course, this could change, and I'm not too sure about this cover that I have over the queue of the carousel. I think it's fine and it fits the theme, but I may change it in the future. But besides that, I really like this carousel. It's very beautiful, and also the planters around it. Not much is going on either side, but I am thinking about making more stuff over here and over there. Now for the big part, the wooden coaster. So, first of all, this entrance fits. This like little thing I built right here. And I like the queue building. It's alright. What's funny is that when I opened this coaster, I think when I was trying to build the queue cover, it messed up the whole building. And so I had to like dismantle the building and try to rework the queue and then build it again. And now it works and guests are riding it and hopefully enjoying it. And I like the scenery around here. I really like here, and this is alright. I think I'm gonna build a little more around here where it's like transitioning into the station. And of course the station and the on-ride photo booth that I built right here, it will be more detailed in the next episode. Let me know down in the comments if there's any way to put an on-ride or photo booth, because I know you can sell on-ride photos, because like I saw it around here somewhere. But just for realistic purposes, I just placed this building so that you get the on-ride stuff. And so as for the coaster itself, I like this coaster. I know the layout is very overused. I already made a wooden coaster No Limits 2 with this same style, and I'm going to make a wooden coaster in Planet Coaster with the same style. I really like the style of wooden coasters. Yeah, that's basically all I built in this episode, but I want to know if you guys like it. So if you enjoyed this video, then please let me know by leaving a like in this video. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this Parkitect series? How could I improve it? What did I do good? And if you're new to this channel and roller coasters are what you're into, then please consider subscribing for content all about roller coasters. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.